We're going to move on to the last thing we're going to talk about, and that is what happened with the shakeup for the end of the year in the UFC between UFC 310 and UFC Tampa. So just so we can recap real fast, it was supposed to be Belal Muhammad defending his title against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Belal, we know, got the toe infection or the foot infection. He's out. UFC originally, they didn't make a change to UFC 310. We didn't know what was going on with UFC 310. We didn't know what was going on with Shavkat. But what we did know was that Ian Machado Garry was going to fight Joaquin Buckley in the UFC Tampa headliner. And I said a couple episodes ago, that really upset me. That really upset me. I was like, they dropped the ball. And here I am telling you now, Farah, that the UFC totally redeemed itself with the UFC 310 and UFC Tampa Shakeup.
Oh, agreed. Definitely not.
We're getting Shavkat against Ian Machado Garry because I asked for it on this show.
not an overreaction. I like it. I didn't like really the Kamaru Usman fight. I understand that Kamaru is a future Hall of Famer, former champion and stuff, but he wouldn't have even gotten a proper full camp. Like, what are we doing here? Same scenario as the Hamza Chimaev fight, although credit to Kamaru, he performed very well. But why is my question? Like, why? Give Kamaru his respect of getting into a proper camp and having a fight. A lot to gain for him, I understand, but going against another undefeated killer, he kind of spoke about it in his podcast, saying that December was a little too early for him. So I'm kind of glad it didn't work out for him. And I guess credit to Ian Machado Garry. I mean, if anything can get some fans his side, it's got to be this. Although I'm pretty sure they're going to boo him and cheer for Shavkat, but at least he can get somebody's respect here, because obviously he gets hated on a lot and didn't have the greatest performance against MVP. It was a grapple fest, not what I expected either, but Shavkat's no joke.
It's just freaking awesome. I mean, you don't get two up and coming guys this far, but they're this far into their career and they're still both undefeated. You just don't get this that often, and that's why I'm so happy that this all worked out. I'm super intrigued by this fight.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit back in the day, but maybe they weren't as far along with John Jones and Ryan Bader. When they were both,
good reference point there. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I like the fight. I love it. Credit to Ian. I hope he gets some love for this and stops getting crapped on, because at the end of the day, he is a talented fighter. Maybe the MVP fight didn't exactly elevate his stock, but you're going up against Shavkat, a guy who boasts a 100% finish rate. So you know there's going to be action in this fight, because if Ian doesn't want to jump into the fire, Shavkat will pull him in.
Yeah, okay. And then the flip side of this now is that we have the return of America's favorite nerd and virgin, Colby Covington. He's going to fight Joaquin Buckley now in headline UFC Tampa. So what do you think of that matchup?
I'm very surprised Covington agreed to this fight. I don't know what he sees that makes him think, because when I was looking back, he was talking about Wonderboy Thompson. That was a call out. It was a smart call out, because obviously the path to victory is right there, right? Grapple the hell out of Wonderboy. Wonderboy has a name. He's a former title challenger. Easy fight to put in a pay-per-view. Joaquin Buckley's a risky fight. The guy packs tons of power. He's super athletic. He can grapple too. I don't know if you're just going to be able to ragdoll Joaquin Buckley. It's a tough fight, and it's a big risk and low reward, in my opinion. So I'm very surprised that Colby Covington took this fight.
Yeah.
Dana White keeps reiterating that Colby Covington doesn't turn down fights. He insists on that. A lot of times it appears that Colby's turning down fights, but they say contract. So I don't want to make something up or that, but Dana insists. So clearly this is proof that he doesn't, because I don't understand what he sees to gain out of this fight against Joaquin Buckley. I think Buckley has everything to gain. I think Covington has everything to lose, because you lose to Joaquin Buckley, you're done.
Have we heard from Colby about this fight yet? Has he posted anything on social media in the past 48 hours?
Don't you think we're not going to see it?
I'm just saying, Farah, optics are everything. You go ahead and announce it this way, but who knows what could happen in the next, maybe even this week.
I never signed the contract.
I'm just saying, if we haven't heard from him, is this fight really happening? It's the UFC we're talking about here. I do believe that we're going to see Shavkat against Ian Machado Garry, but are we really going to see Joaquin Buckley against Colby Covington? I don't know.
No, it's not a.
You wouldn't put it past them. That is not an overreaction, right?
No, that isn't. We've seen posters get published before the fight's not happening, just like Nick Diaz, right? So yeah, there you go. But yeah, I'm just surprised that Colby took this fight. I don't see too much to gain. Yeah. They could have just gave him something else, right? Like they didn't have to do the switcheroo type of thing. They could have given Buckley anybody else. Buckley's always down to fight anybody. They could have, and he's on kind of a winning streak, so anybody would have been good for him in the top 5. But I guess they wanted to reward Joaquin Buckley for pulling that fight.
Yeah,
away
I mean,
from him.
Buckley deserves the reward. I'm like,
Oh,
but
100%.
like you,
Yeah.
but like you, I'm just surprised that Colby agreed to it. And now I'm just putting some dots together here. So yeah, I'm connecting the dots. So I don't know. I hope we see the fight. I mean, it's an intriguing fight. I'm down to see it. And if Colby, you know, as much as I cringe at Colby all the time, if he actually steps into the cage and fights Joaquin Buckley, props to him for taking the fight. You know, it's definitely a risky fight, but it's also a fight that could still show that you are still in that upper echelon of the welterweight division. So I hope he gets there. I just don't know that we're going to get there.
I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Yes, we will, Farah.
MMA Junkie AI.